Hello everybody.
Yeah.
Hi Roz. Hello.
She's on the
Welcome to the live stream today. Today we're going to have our part 2 of this jewelry box makeover. Of course, if you watched the last part, it's looking a little bit different from where we left off last time. And I will talk you through everything that I did so far. So last time we left off with still some decoupage to do, and I had to paint it. It wasn't painted at all. We just applied the tissue paper and we did the inside of these side doors, whatever you want to call them, with Finnabair mechanicals. And we also did the inside with modeling paste. So that's where we left off last time. Right, so I'm gonna tilt you this way so that you can see the actual jewelry box a little bit better. And we'll get started. So hopefully you can see everything well. I'm going to stand up now to make it easier for me to work. If it's looking a little bit dark today, I do apologize. My second light that I usually use from this side literally just gave up on me like 2 minutes before the live stream. I don't know what happened, but it's plugged in and it's not working. So I'll have to figure that one out. So yeah, this is the jewelry box. So since we left off last time, I still had to put the other mechanicals on the inside, which is what I did. So this is what we did on the live stream. I think, which side did we do? No, I think this is the side that we did on the live stream, and then this is the side that I did on my own. And then I also lined all of the drawers with tissue paper. This is solar tissue paper by Finnabair. So all of them are lined. And then when my paint came, I painted the boxes, everything in blue and green. The paint that I used is Annie Sloan's Oxford Navy for the blue and Amsterdam Green for the green. Hello Claire. Hi Leona. It's all good. Okay, good. Because yeah, it's not very bright today. So right, so I painted all of the sides. Then what I did was apply some varnish over the top of everything, over the top of paint and over the top of the decoupage paper. So I just applied matte water-based varnish. And for some reason, I'll show you here, I don't know if it's the varnish that is dodgy that I have, or if it's reacting with the paint or what happened, I'm not sure. But some parts that I painted ended up looking patchy, so you can still see it showing through here. It almost looks like it never dried, like some parts of it look like they're still wet, so they haven't like changed the color after drying. I don't know why that happened, but to kind of try and even it out a little bit and also give it a more shinier finish, I also then applied some clear furniture wax over the top. So I applied some furniture wax, and then I did some bits of the decorating that I'm going to show you today. So there's a lot to do, a lot of little bits to do, so I thought I better get started because it's going to be boring if I do the whole thing over and over in the live stream. So I painted all of these little side bits with Sparks paint, which is what I'm going to show you later. I also used some is it charcoal black, yeah, charcoal black wax to kind of show them off a little bit better on the insides. And I used Finnabair stencils and gold wax over the front of the drawers. So I used, I think this is called dandelions. I'm not sure. I binned all of my papers that the stencils came in, and now I don't know what they're called. Should have really looked it up. And then this one is tapestry. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And of course I also applied some Sparks paint on these bits here and on these sides. So now we're going to do this side. We're going to do the insides of the drawers. Oh yes, and I put some gold wax on the insides of the drawers to show off some of that modeling paste that we used last time. So today I need to show you how to do the whole Sparks painting part. We're going to use some paints. We're going to use some wax with stencils. We're going to use some wax on the insides and on the sides to kind of give a little bit of a shadow to our tissue paper. And then we also need to, of course, show off the insides here and do the hardware part. So we have a lot to do today, so we need to get started. Oh, I just really wanted to show you before I forget. You can see it really well here, I think. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but in person you can really see like this half. As you can see, I've painted it with Sparks paint, and on this side I also applied some black matte wax over the edges and on the inside here, just to add a little bit of shadow and show off the beautiful, you know, edge. And then on this side I haven't done anything yet, and even though obviously you can still see it, but it doesn't show up as well. You can't see it so well, so we're gonna do that. Looks great with the gold. I think so too. Hi, Leanne. Right, let's get to it. So first I'm gonna set this part to the side. I'm not gonna need it yet. The first thing that I want to do is I want to get drawers waxed. So I've done this side. Now I need to do the other half. So I'm going to take my tapestry stencil, which is this one. This is what it looks like, the stencil. And then this is the difficult part, trying to line it up with the drawer, with the edges, so that I can get in as far as I can. Obviously this is a curved surface, and I don't have any like special products to make the stencil stick on the stick to the surface. So you kind of have to. Oh, what am I doing? I'm lining it up, and I haven't even gotten my wax out yet. So we'll weigh it down. Can I weigh it down? No, it's not gonna work. Okay, right. I've got my plate. Still have some leftover wax on here from this morning when I did the other drawer. So I'm gonna use Vintage Gold wax by Finnabair, which is by far my all-time favorite wax from Finnabair. So I just squeeze a little bit out onto my plate so I can pick it up easily with a brush. And then I'm gonna use a natural bristle stencil brush. This one is also from Finnabair. It's number 2. And so I'm gonna line up the stencil. Yeah, so like I was saying, when you don't have like a special product to hold your stencil in place, you kind of just have to accept the fact that it's not gonna look absolutely perfect. You're gonna have some kind of minor I don't know, imperfections where, you know, either the stencil slides a little bit, or you lift it, or, you know, it moves a little bit and stuff. So you just kind of have to accept that fact. but for me personally, I always say that it's the little imperfections that make it look handmade and that bring the whole thing to life. Oh, there you go, my hand just did a little skid there. So I need to bring it back. And I just kind of go all the way down. Rubbing the gold wax onto the side of the drawer. Really not used to not having another light on the side of me, so like it's, I don't know, like I look at my computer and it's not even looking that dark on the screen. I don't know how it is for you, but like, because I'm so not used to it being so dark, it's really gonna like throwing me off. So if I sound or seem a bit weird, that's probably why. Right, okay. There you go. So we've got some stenciling here on this side. Now I'm gonna take these little drawers, and then on the little drawers I used this dandelion. I think it's called dandelion. Please, somebody can, if you can confirm that, that would be lovely. So I'm gonna use this dandelion stencil, and to line this one up, I just kind of, you could try and center it, but I'm really bad at centering things, so I just kind of line it up to the side. What did I do? I did it from this side, yeah, at the top. Line up the top and the side, and then at least, even if the actual pattern isn't like perfectly centered, then at least I know that it's not gonna be like on the wonk. And then I just carry on with the same wax. How is everybody doing today? I feel like I've been talking a lot about the project and haven't even asked you guys if you're okay and if your day is going well. My hand is sliding. Okay, try and line it back up. The good thing about using wax instead of paint is that if your hand does slide a little bit, then it's not that difficult to kind of put it back in place. Okay. What should be completely on the wonk when I lift it up? Oh, this one didn't come out as good at all. Right, let's try again on this one. It's also the green with my green mat. My green cutting mat makes it all look the same, so my eyes are like, oh my god, what is going on? Alright, try again. Line it up and then press it down in place. I'm gonna start from this side now. The trick is to try and hold it in place as well as you can, and like press it down with quite a bit of force, which I have tiny little hands. They don't have a lot of force in them at all. So spreading them out as much as I can. Okay, there you go. This one came out a little bit better. So we have our dandelions, we we have a tapestry on. Hi, Catherine. Was waiting for the class tomorrow. Yes, it's not until tomorrow. Hello from Northwest Indiana, USA. Hello. Right, now we are ready to move on to our Sparks paints. So, in fact, should we get all of the waxing done, all of the gold wax out the way, and then we'll do the sparks. So, this, no, not here. Right, we needed to do the insides of our drawers. So I've already done the insides here on the inside of the blue and the green, the ones that I did earlier today. And so to do that, I literally just take some more gold wax onto my plate, and then I take a larger natural bristle brush. So the one that I used earlier is number 10, but right now I'm going to have to find a different one because this one is still a little bit damp from when I washed it earlier. So I'm going to use this one, which is for furniture, but we'll just have to make do with what we've got today. So we'll do the drawers first. So I pick up a little bit of wax and then I kind of smear it around on my plate, and then I go inside of the drawer, and I'm using a very light touch, and it kind of puts a little gold dust on the inside and mainly catches the the high bits on the modeling paste that we put in last week. So just like this, kind of use a light touch and then we go over the edges. It's a very, very quick thing to do, but it looks very, very pretty, at least in my opinion. And then also on the back, just kind of like that, just give it a little bit of like a gold luster. Hello, lovely. Hello from New York. Love your project. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Me too. I love the combination of blue and green and celestial theme and everything all together. It's really my element. So it's very good to know that others are enjoying it too. Okay. So I've done the inside of the drawer, and again edges, and then the back. And then the insides of these drawers. So here again, I'm first going to go over with gold, and then I think, well, at least I thought about maybe going over with a little bit of white pearl, so white metallic wax over the top of it, once we're done. But let's get it done first. Get it done with gold. So I'm just using my brush very, very lightly. I might need to take a smaller brush just to get into the corners once I'm done. Trouble is, I washed my brushes on time, but the weather today, honestly, it's like one of those weird days where it's cold and damp, but it's not cold enough for the heating to come on very often. So it's not a very good day for having to wash and use the same brush twice. Ah, look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it looking pretty? So that's just with gold, and then again I'm just going to go over the sides. And on the inside here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I go over with a little bit of white, like just over the stars or something on the inside? Or should I just leave it as is? Because I'm not too sure. And then we can also add a little bit of gold to the back here. So the reason why I waxed everything before today's, and sealed and waxed before today's live stream is, so because I was gonna use wax regardless, I was gonna use like clear wax to seal the whole thing. If you're sealing with clear wax and you're planning to use waxes like I am now, like decorative waxes, to show off anything, you always want to seal your piece with your clear wax first and then add your colored wax over the top. And the reason is that if I was to do the gold first and then apply clear wax over the top, clear wax almost reactivates the gold, and it's going to first of all fade and then like wipe away. So it's gonna remove like a lot of this shimmer. So it kind of like clear wax is very good for if you've done a boo-boo and you need to remove some of the wax. Then you can apply some clear wax over the top and kind of rub it, and then it's going to come away. So that's the reason why I did the clear wax first and not like after I've done all of the decorating. And then let's do this bit. Paper is stunning and the place of them is perfect. Love this so much. Thank you, lovely. Love that paper. Yeah, me too. Add some of the pearl wax, maybe. Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Maybe like add a little bit of white pearl over the top just to make them shine a little bit more. Make the mechanicals shine a bit. So while I'm doing this fun thing, I'm going to tell you that we had snow on Sunday, which is very exciting. You know, I've been waiting to tell somebody that we had snow for a long time. Not on Sunday, what am I talking about? On Saturday we had snow here. I woke up in the morning and it was snowing, but it wasn't like beautiful icy snow. It was slush pretty much instantly, but it was still snow, and it snowed all morning. And it stayed on the ground for a little bit, but not for long. So me and my son went on a little walk around the block, and then he even managed to make some what he called ice balls. Because they were really, I give him that. They were more like ice balls than snowballs. But that was the most fun and exciting thing for me since I last saw you guys. So I thought I'd share that. Really, we haven't, just rain and more rain. Yeah. I feel for you. But to be fair, like, it's not like we had that much of it. It was nice, but also, like, at this point you may as well not really even bother that much. Okay, so we've done the insides of our drawers. I don't know. Let's add some white pearls through it. Right. Get some white pearl wax. And this is one of the newest waxes from Finnabair. So this is from the last release. And I'm just going to use my finger to apply it. So I squeezed a little bit out onto my plate. And then I'll just pick a little bit up with my finger and put some right on the stars and the numbers. Just kind of go over the tops. So, a little bit like that. If you've, like here in a few places, I've applied a little bit too much, so I just take a clean finger and kind of wipe it away with my finger. Okay, so we've got a little bit of white in there. Now let's add a little bit of white in here too. These are gonna look really, really pretty once I've put the little hooks back inside, and you know, like for pictures when you hang a little necklace or something to hang in there, and then you've got just a tiny little detail like that in the background. I think it's gonna look really cool. So a little bit like that. I nearly missed the live. I'm an hour behind schedule. Hi. Hello, Eileen. You got there in the end. In Athens, we have a sunny day. You are so lucky. I'm so jealous. Does all of the wax smell? My rusty brown smells wonderful. Yes, yes. All of Finnabair's waxes have this like distinct, delicious, I don't even know. It's like biscuits, but also, I don't know. It's a delicious smell. They all smell amazing. Okay, so now we can move on to our sparks. So sparks are basically like, if you don't know, sparks are basically like metallic paints, but with like extra added shine and shimmer. So they are like extra shiny, as you can see. Now you may need to apply a few coats. So for this one, which is, what is it called? This one is unicorn hair. I always forget the names. Unicorn hair is a little bit more sheer than dragon's eye, which is the other gold that I used. So you have to apply a few more coats over the top than this one. This one is a little bit more pigmented, so doesn't require as much work. And so what I did is all of my blue drawers, all of my blue details, I applied the more yellowy dragon's eye sparks paint, and then all of my green, same goes for the actual base. So I painted all of these parts with the unicorn's hair, which is like the white gold color. And then I thought for the base, I haven't done the base yet, but I thought for the base I might do the first strip in white gold, and then the second biggest strip in dragon's eye. So that would be the idea. So we'll see. Wow, the inside of the drawers looks stunning. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. It's surprising how like this was so simple to put together and create, and you don't really need like that many different sets of mechanicals and stuff. So this was just I think I added 1 or 2 molding casts in there, and then a few different mechanicals, but it still gives you a really nice kind of collage on the inside. So let's start with our dragon's eye, which is a beautiful color, and I'm gonna use the small brush. This is a small angled brush which helps to kind of try and get the paint in a nice straight line here. But even if you go out of line a little bit, we're going to apply dark wax over the top. So it's kind of, the dark wax is going to go inside of the creases. So like this crease here, if I, you know, mess it up a little bit or go a little bit wonky, you won't really be able to see it. Which, you know, dark wax is like my favorite secret weapon against uneven parts. Okay, so I've done one line. Now the other one. And I just love how adding a little bit of metallic to the details just brings the whole thing out so much, and kind of ties everything together. Because again, like I always say, I don't have that kind of vision like a lot of people do, where they can just imagine everything in their head, like how different colors and everything is going to look together. I don't have that superpower. So, you know, I've kind of done a similar project before, so I know how it's gonna look, but still, because it's a different shape to what I've done before, I was a little bit worried that it might not come together so well as it did last time. But, you know, blue and gold and green and gold always work together. You can definitely trust in that color combo. Blue, green and gold. And I thought about just leaving one gold color, so just using dragon's eye on everything rather than using dragon's eye and unicorn hair together. But I don't know. There's something about, again, the combination of the two colors, of the two paints, that I just like a whole lot. And I think it just makes it a little bit more interesting. It's one of those things that you don't really notice, it's not in your face, but it's there and it brings it all together even more. Like I watched George Clarke's program, which for those of you that aren't in UK, it's like a house remodeling program. George Clarke is like an architect, I think. And he said something about, you know, the patterned tiles in the kitchen. And he said, yeah, you don't really notice them, but that's what like makes the whole thing, or that's what means that they work together with everything else, is that you don't really notice them. They don't like stick out like a sore thumb in your face. Right, okay, so now we're moving on to unicorn's hair. Right, so this is the white gold, and we're going to apply it onto green drawers. So I'm using a small flat brush for this, rather than a small angled brush. And the only reason for that is that I only have one tiny angled brush. Otherwise, I would again use an angled brush. Yeah, so you can see the coverage. The other gold, the yellow gold one, had like a much better coverage. This one is way more sheer. I think it's probably to do with the fact that it's a lighter color. Lighter colors usually tend to need a few more coats, especially when you're covering a dark color like green or blue. Okay, so that's one coat done on here, and I'm just gonna let it dry. I'll move these to the side, the ones that I've already done, so that they're out of the way. And then I'm gonna bring this in. So our main part, our main body of the box. And I'm gonna do my top line with unicorn's hair. Can you see? I should probably lower you down a little bit, shouldn't I? Can I do it? Like this, okay. So let's do this top line. This is the part that requires all the concentration. Because there isn't like a clear, or like an indent where you can easily place your brush into, so that it just kind of slides around. You have to actually like stop on time on the line. Did you use the sparks with the stencil on the drawers? I used vintage gold wax with the stencils. Sparks, in my experience, don't really work really well with stencils, because it's a very like a very liquidy paint. So it kind of seeps through a stencil, unless you was to use unless you was going to use one of them repositionable stencil sprays to keep your stencil in place so that the paint doesn't seep through. I wouldn't advise using them for stencils, but I don't know. Again, if you guys have tried it and it worked fine for you, then suggestions are always welcome. This is a very awkward thing to paint. But then most of the time, these like little hand painted details are my favorite to do, because I can just switch off and concentrate. It's like meditation. Let me know. Do you like painting little details like this, or do they like stress you out? Because I know I think you can either love it or hate it. There's no in between. So are you a lover or a hater of tiny details? Ooh. This is a particularly awkward place to paint. I'm gonna have to like lean it down. I think the hardest part is finding like a good, comfortable position for this. Right, I think I'm gonna do this, and then I'll move on to the dark wax. No, not dark wax, because we need to apply another coat of this and the other gold paint over the drawers. But once we've done the drawers, we'll move on to the dark wax, and I'm just going to show you that on the other parts that I've done, and I'll leave this and do this after the show, because this is very awkward to paint and probably pretty boring for you guys to watch. So I'll just finish it up in my own time, so that you guys don't have to just watch me paint little lines. Because I think you guys probably get it from what I showed you earlier. Okay. Right, so I'll leave that to dry. I'll bring back the drawers. I'm a hater. Catherine, lover, like you say, everything disappear from your brain. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. I think it's like a real meditative state. There you go. 2 coats will be enough, I think, here. Right, and then I need my other drawer. And my other Sparks paint. So we're done with unicorn hair for now. Just gonna again apply another coat of this gold over here. Another drawer, don't I? There you go, this one. we can leave these to dry a little bit, and we can get started with our dark wax. So for the dark wax, I'm going to use charcoal black matte wax, again by Finnabair. As you can see, I already used some of it here today. So I'm just going to squeeze some out. And then I'm going to apply it in two ways. So the first way is going to be for these decorative parts. So on these bits here, where we already have a paint and stuff, I'm going to use a brush, and I'm using a acrylic brush this time, so just a normal painting brush. And I'm going to kind of try and squeeze it into this little like overhang bit of the chamfered edge. I think this is what it's called. So just like this. And again, it's just one of those details that your eye probably won't even really like pay that much attention to it. It's not gonna stick out. It's not the centerpiece. It's not the accent wall of your piece. But it's one of those details that's gonna bring everything together. And then I take a cloth and I just use my finger to carefully wipe away the dark wax from the like the more stick out parts of my chamfered edge, so that I'm not pressing it too hard or like trying to get inside there, because I want the wax to stay on the inside. And I just wipe it away like this. And then the other way that I'm going to apply wax is with my finger again. So I pick up a little bit of wax off of my plate, and then over the paper I'm just going to kind of hold my finger at an angle and apply the wax like this. And then I just kind of smudge it out with my finger, and it creates a bit of a shadow on the paper. Gives it a bit of an edge. The fact that I varnished the paper beforehand, before doing this, helps with the smudging part, because if you just leave it with like we glued it down with soft gel, or so if you just glued down your paper and you've sealed it with glue, the wax is going to kind of seep into the fibers of the paper a little bit more, so it's not going to be as easy to create like this kind of faded look. So here I just kind of go over all of these edges. As you can see, I'm not being like super duper careful. I just put it on and then I smudge it around, and then if obviously my finger is a bit dirty, so like if there's too much, I just use my cloth and kind of bring it back. And it's all of these little details that are going to make your piece come together. So never underestimate the little details, because it would be a completely different jewelry box if I had just decoupaged it and painted it with green and blue. It doesn't matter if you can pick out the prettiest paper and the prettiest colors, but if you don't add those extra little details, it's just not going to be the same look. And then I'm going to lay the jewelry box down a little bit and bring you guys down so you can see. And I'm also going to add a little bit of this on the edges here, where I also have unicorn hairs gold sparks paint. just a little bit. Again, bring it all together. Even if you don't see it all that much, it all counts. And obviously I can't do the bottom yet because I haven't painted it all yet, but it's okay, we have plenty to do still. Very therapeutic to watch, good. And is this dry? I'm just gonna get my heat gun quickly and give it a little blast just to make sure that it all is dry before I apply the wax and start rubbing. Should do. Oh, thank you, Zanet. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Okay, I'll put this one in front of me just so that I remember what I've done, so that I don't forget. Okay, so again, with our drawers, we have, back up. So we have these, I don't know, I keep calling them chamfered edges. I don't know if that's right or not. I use a brush and I stick some wax on the inside there. And I kind of smudge it around a little bit. And then on the kind of outside here. And then use a cloth just to wipe off any of the excess. And a completely different look straight away, at least in my opinion. And then just use my finger on the bottom edge here, darken it up a little bit. I see you're wearing your apron. Oh well, yes. Gotta look professional, don't I? Gotta look a little bit more professional. And then here on the edges, I do basically the same thing that we did with the top of our jewelry box. So create like little faded edges. Again, I think it just gives it a more of a finished look, like it was all meant to be there, or like it was all put together like that from the start, rather than, you know, somebody came and glued some papers onto it and stuff. So it just kind of makes it all complete. If you wanted to, you could also go over with dark or gold waxes, like on the inside edges, just to make them stand out a little bit more. I'm not sure, I might do that kind of in my own time, once I've sat down and had a good look at the piece. Once I'm finished with it, you know, if I decide that I want to add a little bit extra something, you can always go over with a little bit more wax. Also, like, this doesn't need sealing now with anything. All of these waxes kind of are self-sealing. Then we have our other drawer that we need to do, and again, same thing as with the little drawers. I am also kind of tempted to do a little bit of paint splattering, and you tell me if that's a crazy idea or not. Paint splattering with sparks with unicorn's hairs, so the lighter sparks on the inside here. Kind of just add a little bit of like tiny little stars, and I want you guys to tell me if that's a crazy idea or not. What do you guys think? Hi Francine. And again, just smudge it out, and it also helps to kind of bring in this edge where like I can't get the stencil in there because it's so curved, so like it kind of helps fade it out a little bit more. And then same here, I just go over the edges a little bit. And then once I'm done with these edges, the last thing that we're gonna have to do will be to, well, either add some sparks, paint splattered sparks, or just move on to the hardware straight away. And again, I need ideas. What color should I use for sparks for the hardware? So this is what the hardware is looking like. So I applied a coat of transparent clear gesso just to help the wax hold on to the hardware a little bit better. So it is already kind of antiqued aged gold, but I want to go over the tops with something, and I thought maybe white gold or white pearl wax. I think if I just go over with vintage gold, they're gonna just kind of blend in together with the stencil in. So I think either white gold or a white pearl wax. Olive splatters, good idea. Me too. Okay, right. Okay, well, we're going for it then. Should we go for it? Okay, we'll take some sparks, and then we have another natural bristle brush and my trusty bamboo stick, skewer, barbecue skewer, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna tilt you so you can see what's going on, and I do a light dip in the paint, and I go like this. Maybe a little bit more. And then I just kind of scrape the paint off. And so, I don't know if you can see it very well, but yeah, I think that was a really good idea. I think paint splatters with sparks was a really good idea. On here. Then where's my other one? There's the other one. So this is the before the paint splatters. And then this is the after. So I think it just adds a little mist on the inside. Good idea. Well done for voting for the splatters. Okay, put the brushes in water before I forget. And then we just need to do the handles. And then we'll be almost finished. I think white gold. Thank you, Francine. Old bronze for handles perhaps. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, white gold or bronze? We have Bronze Age, and we have white gold. Which one? I'm still leaning more towards white gold. But then, my only worry is that will it be too close in colour to the unicorn's hair? You know what, let's do white gold, and then if it doesn't look great, we can always go over it again. Once it's kind of sealed in there, we can go over it again, can't we? Right, so I'm going to use white gold, Finnabair metallic wax, and again I use my finger, and I'll go over, where's the camera? Here's the camera. Now go over the hardware. And we have an instant colour change. So the good part about using transparent gesso instead of like white or black gesso here is that I went over with wax, but because you could still see the underlying colour underneath there, you can still see little bits of like the darker parts of the hardware peeking through, which I think is nice. And then let's put this in. Can I pop it back in? Now watch me not be able to stick it back in. I think I might have just wiped it away with my hand. You do need to let the waxes seal for a while before you can properly use them, because otherwise they do take a little while. Like usually I would advise 24 hours before you like use them or anything, otherwise they're gonna wipe away. What do we think? Or is that too bland? Bronze, you know, I think I'm gonna go with bronze now. I think it's too, you can't see it much now. See, that's what I'm telling you. Like, I'm not joking when I tell you that I have zero ability of like being able to see what the colours are gonna look like. So let's use some bronze. So this is Bronze Age. Let's go over with the bronze. Okay, so it's much darker. Too light, perhaps. Yes, I agree. I think it turned out too light with white gold. Okay, let's stick it in. And go over it again. Okay. Yes, I think the bronze looks way better. Well, thank you, guys, because I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have even like thought of using bronze here. Need to like wash my fingers because they're all becoming the same color now. Let's do another one, and then we will end for tonight. And then, as always, I'm gonna post pictures of the finished thing once I'm finished with this. It might not be tomorrow, but I will try and get it done as soon as I can. Come on. These are like pressing, so like I have to press down real hard to get it to stay on the inside. Okay, yes, that's this. So let's compare. On the green we have white gold and we have bronze, and yes, I agree, I think bronze looks way better together with the rest of it. So we're going to be looking at, let's kind of put it all together a little bit for a minute. And so of course when I put the whole thing together, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna alternate the drawers in color, so it's gonna be green, blue, green, blue. Is this the right way? Oh wait, that's the wrong side. I love it. I think it's gonna look so awesome when it's finished. Is it just me? Am I the only one that gets like super excited when you make something and you like it? So this is where we're at the moment. Obviously I need to finish the hardware. I'm gonna do it all bronze like you guys suggested. I love the idea of bronze. And then we open it up like this, and we have a beautiful, beautiful mechanics on the inside, and of course I'm gonna put the little hangy bits for the necklaces. I'm gonna put it back on, put all of the like magnets, hinges back on, and I'll take some pictures and I'll post them here in the group, and of course on all of my other social media, which if you don't already follow me, let me turn you around. Hello. If you don't already follow me on my social media, then I'm on Instagram as Dainty Gifts, I'm on Facebook as Dainty Gifts, I'm on YouTube as Dainty Gifts, so if you would like to see more from me. And yeah, thank you so much for coming along on the journey of, you know, the creation of this beautiful jewellery box. So as you can imagine, it's going to look absolutely gorgeous once it's all put together and once it's all complete. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it finished. So it'll probably be soon. It won't take me long to get it finished because I'm very excited to get it done. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Look out for my announcements of the live stream, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.